Okay, 4:59 p.m. Maintenance is still here working on this massive project that has taken over 2 hours to fix, and he's still not done. I kept reporting for years that there was a leak under this sink that was warping the cabinet and the wood under here. Peter Casparello 3 years ago put down these tiles, saying that putting down the tiles would fix the dampness under here, and the dampness was due to a leak, but Peter said it wasn't leaking. Well, guess what? The maintenance guy just removed the drain pipe because he said that there was a leak. And I don't quite understand what he's saying, but I got that he was saying that there was water dripping. So he has just removed the drain pipe from this drain. And I'm not sure why there's one of my spoons in the sink. Maybe he's using it as a tool. I mean, there's no way that that spoon could have ended up falling through that drain because it has a stopper, a built-in stopper. But as I've been saying for years, there's a leak under the sink that causes constant moisture and water to accumulate under the sink, and it then creates mold and mildew. I called Inspectional Services for a bad conditions inspection, which they conducted earlier today, because there's a constant smell of mold and mildew coming from this sink area. And the countertop was warped due to water damage from the water constantly pooling around this area because of a leaky faucet. So not only was the faucet leaky, but now the pipes and the drain are leaking as well. I mean, that's what I've been saying for years, but nobody believed me. Well, maybe they'll believe me now. So it is now probably 5:05 p.m. 5:01 on May 15th, Wednesday, May 15th, and maintenance has been in here for almost 3 hours. At the request of Inspectional Services, Inspector G, who was in here earlier today, who said that she found, quote, problems with the unit, but that she was not going to issue a citation as long as the work was done immediately, which means today. So the window was broken. It was off the track. It was not opening or closing. It would stay stuck open or stuck closed for weeks at a time. Sometimes I couldn't open it because it was like severely stuck. So the window was taken out of the window frame. The track was fixed and oiled, and then the frame, and then the window panel was put back into the frame, which was fixed. So the window was off of its track, and that's why I kept reporting for months now that I couldn't open this window, especially when there was nonstop smoke and fumes coming from that bathroom right there that Greenville keeps telling me is vacant and empty, but that housed a psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry between 2013 and 2022. And Irizarry, according to Mr. Eliseyev, continues to be housed in this building. And when I report the fact that she's smoking in that bathroom to the office staff, they say, oh, well, we'll mention that to the owners. Apparently, she's friends with the owners. So there you go. That's why she gets to access the vacant premises of her former bathroom on an ongoing basis, and she smokes constantly behind this wall. So when there's smoke and fumes filling this unit and I can't open the window because it's sealed shut due to the fact that it's off the track, that is a serious health and safety issue. I have to breathe in these smoke and fumes that are always filling this corner and my bathroom. The smoke and fumes never come from the hallway, which is why I usually have to go out into the hallway to get fresh air. Nobody ever stands in the hallway outside of this door smoking for hours at a time and filling my bathroom and my kitchen area. That comes from directly behind this wall right here, where there's a psychopath who seems to either have been placed back into her old unit where she lived for 10 years or 9 years, or she keeps accessing her former unit while still verifiably residing in this building but on another floor. Anyway, back to the leaking faucet and tap. So the window needed to be fixed. And again, there were serious health and safety issues when I couldn't open the window. It's a fire hazard. Obviously, if you need to get out and there's a fire and you can't go out of your door, you have to go out the window. That was sealed shut for weeks at a time over this past winter, because when it's cold, the metal literally doesn't cooperate. And if the window is already off the track, then you can't open it at all. That window is not, you can't open it. You cannot open this window. So the only window that I have to open if I need to ventilate the space, which is almost every day because there's constantly someone filling this corner deliberately with marijuana and cigar fumes that are really gritty and nasty and sickening, well, then you have to open that window. Right now, the door to the hallway is open, and I'm smelling marijuana coming from this corner right now. Maintenance is still working on the sink. He said that the drain was leaking. So not only was the faucet leaking and causing water to accumulate around the edges of this metal sink basin and then warp the wood of the countertop so that the wood was like literally buckling and bumpy all along here and also along the other side as well. It was a wavy counter, so he just fixed that. But there was also a leak underneath here, and it was constantly damp and moist, and you can smell the mildew or mold. And I did call inspectional services about bad conditions in this unit back on April 30th, and they scheduled today's inspection. And what the inspector said is that they don't do mold readings. So even though there's a very strong smell of mold right now coming from under that sink, apparently because maintenance just discovered a leak, so there's been a leak there for years, as I've been reporting, inspectional services could not do a mold reading. I have to get that done myself. Oh, fun. I get to spend money on a mold reading. Oh, yeah, that's just what I needed to spend my money on, right? I can't think of a better thing to spend my money on than a mold reading. And I'm only being half sarcastic here. I actually think that that's a very valuable investment because mold can make you really sick, and it could explain a lot of the health and joint pain issues, fatigue issues, severe skin problems like eczema that I've been experiencing over the last couple of years in this unit, especially during the pandemic when I was literally not able to leave this unit at all. And there was bad conditions. Even in 2020, there were bad conditions. There was an inspection conducted in November of 2020 where multiple code violations were found in this unit by the inspector at the time. That was November of 2020. Fast forward to now, there's still bad conditions. I mean, it just doesn't stop. So I hope maintenance comes back because he just took the drain pipe out of my sink bottom. Okay, so it's almost 3 hours now. That means that maintenance has been in here. And again, they fixed the toilet, which was required of them by inspectional services. The inspector was here earlier today. They fixed the window. They fixed the warped, damaged countertop and the gap between the edge of the sink and the countertop. They haven't fixed the leaky faucet because the faucet does leak, and that's how water was constantly pooling and accumulating around the sink. Even when I kept wiping it down and wiping it down and wiping it down, the water was always just all over the place. And now it seems that maintenance has discovered that the drain pipe was leaking, which I've been saying for years. There's a leak under that sink, and the cabinet smells like mold and mildew under there. So, you do the math on that one. A leaky sink and then mold and mildew definitely go together. So I'm pretty sure he's going to come back because he's got to come back for all his construction equipment. But there's suddenly a really intense smell of marijuana in here, and it's coming from right behind that corner right there. That's where the marijuana constantly comes from. And it also has a really gritty, nasty stink to it, like cigar smoke. And because I'm a non-smoker, somebody just smacked the wall right here. Somebody just hit this wall right here, like right there. Who's sitting in the bathroom of 78 smacking the wall right now? This phone probably didn't pick up on that because the audio on this phone sucks. You can barely hear anything on the audio, but somebody smacked that wall as soon as I was saying that somebody's smoking in the bathroom of 78. So that's like their way of, it's kind of like prison code for, yes, I know what you're talking about, I mean, that's really creepy. So right now there's marijuana smoke filling my bathroom from the area of the bathroom of 78. I smell it here too, but I don't think it's coming from the hallway. Whoops. Nope. No smoker fumes coming from this area. There's nothing here. Yeah. Clean, fresh air with no smoke. So the smoke and the fumes of marijuana, cigars, cigarettes, burning rubber, as I keep saying, come from the bathroom of 78. That's the bathroom of 78 right there. and behind my shower stall and my toilet is also the bathroom of 78. So it's a square. So these are the outside walls of the square of the bathroom of 78, and that's where the smoke and fumes constantly come from. So again, when that window was stuck shut for weeks, as it was stuck shut during this winter due to the cold and the metal not sliding properly, I could not open that window, and there were constant smoke and fumes filling this entire corner. There's no actual ventilation system in this building. Greenville has not invested in a ventilation system. So if you want to get rid of the smoke and fumes from your neighbor's bathroom, why would anybody smoke for hours in a bathroom? Then you have to either open the door to the hallway where there's never any smoke or fumes, or then open your window. And when your window is off of its track and won't open or close, then you're kind of out of luck and you have to deal with the smoke and fumes, which is a health and safety issue. And it's also a violation of the lease, and it's a habitation violation as well. Sorry. Okay, well, the drain pipe is back in place. So maybe it just needed a new drain pipe. But clearly there was a problem. And that's what I've been saying. There's been a leak under that sink for years. Well, hopefully the sink is fixed. Thank you. Thank you so much. You did a lot of really hard work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a very good afternoon and evening. Thank you. Okay, he's very nice. I mean, he did most of the work in the bathroom as well a few weeks ago. So he's just fantastic. I can't say enough good things about him. Not sure how he feels about me, but I don't really care. 517. Okay, so he's here for 3 hours basically. All right, well, you know what? Not sure where the spoon came from, but maybe it was under the sink. I don't know. He's awesome. I mean, he is really awesome. Very professional, very focused, hardworking. What am I stepping on? Oh, it's just nails. I have to sweep. Okay. Oh, you know what? One of the tiles looks like it came out. Shoot, where did that tile go? Oh, well, I'll find it later. That tile suddenly went missing. There's a missing tile. Oh, bottle fell. Okay. You don't realize how much stuff you have until you have to move it out of the way for repairs to be made. So even though I don't have that much on this countertop, it definitely looks completely different when none of that stuff is there. Same thing with the stove. We think we need all this stuff, but you know, when it's not there, it's like, oh wow, look at all this space. And yeah, the curtains need to go back to their normal position. I'm gonna open this window because now all of a sudden I'm getting hit by these marijuana fumes that started a few minutes ago. There's somebody in that bathroom. Jesus Christ. Oh, there's that stick. So remember the stick I was telling you about? Yeah. Earlier today. So about a year ago, someone left this stick with a sharp end on my towels that I was hanging over the railing of the rear stairwell. The sharp end actually was broken off, but the end was really, really sharp, and it was kind of like a threatening message. I have videos of it. Somebody deliberately balanced this sharpened stick on my bath towels in the rear stairwell. When I made a video about the sharpened end, but did not take the stick, somebody broke off the sharpened end. And then I grabbed the stick as evidence. A couple of hours ago, when I was talking about this stick, the violent thug directly below in 76 started making sudden repeated pounding noises directly below this corner right here. And there were no pounding noises before that, and there were no pounding noises whatsoever anytime after that. So he has some kind of connection to this stick. He wants me to know that he has some kind of knowledge of this stick. And again, when I pulled it out from behind the fridge where I'd been storing it as evidence, because it is a weapon, and started basically videoing it, the thug directly below in 76 started making repeated pounding noises to let me know that he has some kind of knowledge about this stick or a connection to it. Again, the violent pounding noises, the repeated thudding and banging that happens suddenly when I do certain things that seem to have a connection to either the psychopath in the bathroom of 78 or the violent thug directly below in 76. They start smacking the wall as some sort of prison code to let me know that they have some kind of connection with what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, I figured that out after many years of dealing with the wall smacking from the psychopath in 78 that started actually in 2013. And I started realizing there was a reason for it. It's not random. It's some sort of prison code, especially since these people seem to be legally confined to their units. They almost never leave their units. I kept reporting for years that the psycho in 78 was smacking the wall behind my toilet and behind the sink multiple times at all hours of the day and night. She almost never left the building. And when I spoke with the property manager about that, he said, no, she doesn't work. She's done some bad things. Don't piss her off, etc. And that was confirmed by the police, who said that she's a psychopath. And psychopaths are people who have the compulsive urge to hurt other people. Okay? A psychopath is not somebody that has some vague mental health issues. No, they're extremely dangerous, malignant, and they target people. So yeah, exactly. As the property manager told me a few years ago, don't piss her off. Well, apparently I did, because she won't leave this wall alone, and she's still behind it. Anyway, the work is done. I'm going to put this stick back in its position behind the fridge and save it. And if the violent thug directly below in 76 wants to keep telling me he has some kind of connection to this stick, then I'll take that as confirmation that I am right. I was right about the leak under the sink. I was right about the window not opening. I was right about the toilet not flushing. And these are all things that I was told a few weeks ago by the landlords and their agents, that there were no bad conditions in this unit and that all repairs had been made. Well, guess what? They haven't. So today was proof that I was right a few weeks ago by saying that there's ongoing bad conditions in this unit that haven't been resolved. Inspector G, who was here earlier today, agreed and had maintenance fix the sink, fix the leak, fix the window, fix the toilet. She said she didn't see any mouse droppings around the stove, so apparently that means there's no mice in here, but I can hear them running around at night, so, maybe they're not hanging out. But hey, the sink looks good.